in on the right way to deal with it. If you're running in the store, you're buying things that you had not planned for because you didn't need it, because you're using the fear and the anxiety and the worry about what might happen, that's going to take you so far off. That's going to put you so out of budget. It's like, oh, I came here to get this, and now I got 50 million things. We talked about this when we talked about fear, but that's all worry is, that component in your brain that, throws you off. The good news is, even though you have worry, you can take the positive aspects of it, because worry could be a great motivator. Worry could be, oh, I don't want to not have what I need, so let me start planning. I don't want to not be able to move because I don't know what's happening, that everybody's lost their job. So you can start planning now. Okay, so I've lost my job. Right now, and I got a stay of eviction, so they're not throwing people out. They have given us some help and assistance on our housing, so our house notes and stuff, they're not foreclosing on our houses yet. Start planning. What can I do in this time that I don't have to put out this money yet to make me ready for the next situation? Maybe you downsize. Maybe you move people in with you. Maybe it looks like community, which is what we should be about. How do I reach the resources and tap into what this person has and what that person has to help build my community, so that I'm in a space of productiveness, so that my thoughts are, we're building, we are evolving. We are taking this time to make a new creative self. We're taking this time to redirect our energies into, this is what it should have been before it got to this place, to make me wake up and see I've lost the main things I'm supposed to have, that community and support and planning and preparation and uplifting. If you start thinking about yourself in that perspective, you'll find anxiety levels going down. You'll find worry going down, because you'll have results. And the best thing about community is, other people may have ideas and directions that will benefit you. You only get to those by now working in the community and coming together to make those benefits happen for you. That's my take today. Don't just be stressed out. Look at what's available to you. Look at what's going on realistically. Make realistic plans. And when you find out what you need or can't be done by yourself, reach out to your community and find out who is there that can support you. That's my take today.
Right on, right on. All right, good, thanks. Yes, Sister Precious, our clinician in the house. It's always good. And just for those who may not be as familiar with me by clinician, things that they say clinical trials has been put to the test, but more of a scientific approach. So this the clinician or clinical approach is, again, science. They've been proven over time, studies, research, things like that. So she was just providing, the research that has been done about worry, and also the practical side of it as well. So again, give thanks for the clinician. And just as a reminder, that's what we are here for as well, your holistic HMO, to be that community. Again, we're all experiencing emotions, in various degrees. And one thing that we like to remind everyone, don't just share, because as practitioners, this is what we were doing before the Corona season came. So it's not that we're exempt. We just have like tools and practical ways of dealing with it in our own lives. We're just simply sharing that to our own community, our health and wellness community. So again, we are in this together, one people, one God, one destiny, one health. So there you have it. And next up to share with us is Mama Elaine, to give a little insight as well on whipping worry.
Thank you, Master Shep. That was so interesting, and I need to refer to some of the things that Sister Precious Porter talked about, because she's about calm, and sometimes staying calm and doing the act of becoming calm is a challenge. One of the things, as a biologist, I understand art. There is an art and a science to the power of the breath. Working with the techniques, I want to share with you some solution you take with you as a tool. Both Sister Precious and Master Chef referenced us having practitioners, tools we use. Sharing these tools is one of the reasons I'm here today. First, let me express what breathology is. It is the art and science of awareness, breath mechanics, and the application of techniques that enhance the spirit, the mind, and the body. That's what breath is. It is a solution that we each have. Every race and creed, color, everything breathes, even if it's very, very minimal energy.
Pardon, Mommy Lane. Mommy Lane. Mommy Lane. She's still with us?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like her audio, she's outside in the fresh air, of course, so this is good being on location. Nonetheless, the communication is not coming through steady enough. So what we're gonna do is simply mute, and at some point, we will come back when she's engaged with understanding what's happening, because she's unmuted and still froze. Nonetheless, so mute, and we'll come back to Mommy Lane when she's in a better location. We're just gonna continue on with the flow, and with Precious Mother Love, our Sacred Arts Curator in the mix. Precious Mother Love.
One Love and Wellness. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, indeed, indeed.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, top of the day, everyone. I'm sorry you weren't able to hear Mother Elaine in her voice, in her breath. She wanted to do an exercise. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to that. I want to send shout outs to Clarice of Rooted in Nature, who's on our boards today, Collective Health Initiative. Also to the Soulful Touch, and why do I want to say it's a Ketnu, and and all of our other practitioners that aren't here with us today. Thank you for being our backbone and support right along with us. And I want to say hi to just because I can't say her name. What was it? The winner of our challenge, Love Yourself to Life?
Khalifa Scott, yes.
I got it. I had to say it all out. And I want to congratulate all of those that I said earlier, all of those who have overcome whatever the stress was that was causing them. I'm sorry, not just stress causes the corona, whatever reason that they were feeling symptoms, whether it was related to the corona or not, because some folks are stressing out so bad that they have some phantom symptoms possibly. There is a chance that, well, it's not a chance, but the way you think about how it engages with your body makes a big difference. So when you say, I'm chasing it out of here, that's what ends up happening. Or when you say, oh, I'm catching it, then, you know, that's the difference. You either are chasing it away or it's catching you. But, you know, I also want to send my condolences to those who have lost anyone in this season. I know that is, a lot of us are having physical responses to the way we feel, our emotions right now. Our physical responses are wearing us down. It is, in some cases, folks aren't able to sleep. They're losing their appetite. Sometimes in a chronic sense, they get nauseated. Other times you're having, you know, headaches, migraines, blurry vision. All these are symptoms and signs of other things, but that's what stress will do to your body. So, you know, if you're getting lightheaded, it could be as a result of many things. Whether you're not eating, you know, if your appetite has gone and you're not eating, you know, that's something that you want to start making sure that when you do eat, you eat some of the good stuff that you need to eat, some live fruit, some live vegetables, something that's living. The more live stuff you eat, the more living you can have out of your body. The more dead stuff you eat or things that aren't alive, so you're either eating to live or the opposite of that. um, but I also want to talk about the fact that, you know, a lot of us are suffering because of the losses, because of our worry, because we're allowing things to weigh down on us. And whipping worry for me means a lot of what Precious Porter spoke about this morning, planning things out. Like, for instance, if there are a lot of things that you have on your to-do list that have been slipping away from you, perhaps you could start attacking some of those things. We have a little more time right now on our hands. Perhaps, you know, and I don't necessarily have more time on my hands because at this point I seem to be essential. And so these are things that I'm doing to help me, things that I am having success with helping me to whip the worry, because I have begun to be more organized about my to-do lists, so that I can get more done. You know, just making a to-do list itself is a tool to help you get more done. But that helps you not to worry. When you prepare properly before you go, let's just say on stage, if you're performing, or like today, you know, we have to prepare for these things and we're either ready or not. Sometimes we're worried because we aren't as prepared as we could, or should be. So you want to prepare yourself and allot yourself the time to not extra stress on things. So that if you are planning to commute somewhere or planning to, like, it takes a little more preparation for a particular project or deadline or something that's coming up, you know, pace yourself properly. Don't wait till the last minute. That does motivate a lot of people. That particular part is iffy for me. You know, those who are motivated more so from the pressure, you know, sometimes that is a motivation. You know, oh my God, it's coming. But if you wait till the last minute, that's like, you know, you're wasting some of your good energy instead of pacing yourself properly. The tortoise and the hare kind of concept, you know, which is a better result. But so do some of those things that are on your to-do list that you haven't, that have been, you know, not at the top of the list, aren't the priority anymore. Knock some of those things off. Prepare yourself in advance. Also, in addition to preparation and organization, which also helps you not to worry so much, to show up ready. I met a nurse last evening and we spoke about what does she do to help herself not worry so much, because she's exposed regularly to folks who have tested positive. As a matter of fact, I believe she is one of the ways that folks find out. I believe she's a part of that testing to see who is positive. And so she has a routine of some things that she does on her way in and on her way out. She has had occasions where she's had symptoms from time to time, but because she eats right, because she makes sure she gets her rest, her proper rest, these are things she's saying that she does to help herself not to worry about, am I going to catch it? Am I going to catch it? So, for instance, when she gets home, she takes her shoes off. At the door, all of her belongings and things stay in a staging area. And she may spray these things down, or she may expose them to the sun, which the UV rays will help to sterilize. That's where I put my mask. I put my mask on my dashboard and allow the sun rays to sterilize it, because one of my businesses, which is called Mom's Wellness Wagon, which is how I met this nurse yesterday, I transport people for medical reasons. And sometimes doctors and nurses are involved in that, but most times too, doctor's appointments. But in the meantime, you know, and I want them not to worry, so I wear the mask. But I do want folks to feel comfortable, you know, with working with me. But like I said, she will have her clothes in a staging area. She'll take a shower once she gets in. But like I said, she's already preparing her body, knowing that it's a battle every day for her, to eat properly, to sleep, and she meditates. She has things that she she has internal self-talks with herself, you know, to talk herself through times when things are starting to rear its head through, to give her some cause for caution or worry. But those are the kinds of things that help you prepare yourself You know, before she leaves out, she's making sure she's eating properly. She's got what she needs with her for the day. She's drinking and hydrating enough. So, you know, knowing that she's going into battle with the mindset, with the environment, she's on the front lines of the war zone. So in order for her, and I expect that a lot of people are in the same mindset and have this same sort of practice or something similar, where they're disinfecting when they get in, and they're very cautious about, you know, their activities. You know, I know there's a 6-foot rule, and some people like to get, you know, invade your space, but we've always had that, you know, you're in my space, man, type of thing. You know, arm's reach, arm's distance. But I want to say that mindset is everything, and breathing is something I've talked about time and time again. All three of us have mentioned it. Mommy Lane, Precious Porter, myself, Mother Love. We know, you know, your first line of defense is to make sure you're oxidizing properly. You're getting full breaths. Master Motley, Aaron Motley, just had a breathing workshop on earlier, and thank goodness for that, because that's what prepared me for today. Before this broadcast, I was doing some of the breathing that he was sharing, and some of the things that I teach in some of my classes, and so does Master Chef. You know, we know these things, and like I said, we practice these things, and that's what helps us to be able to take the smooth with the roughness, because it's a battle. You know, we are all, each of us are on our own proverbial front lines, and dealing with either the mindset or the body's response to these emotions. And I want to be very clear. I said it last time. This energy and emotion that's in us, it is not good or bad, whether it's worry or fear. And fear is false evidence appearing real. The response to these things is what we're talking about. So if you are seeing things that you want to wear that have been spiking your red flag and making you worry a bit, then you definitely want to try some of the things that we've said: breathing, meditating, you know, mandalas, you know, gearing up your body so that you're girding yourself up for this battle. You're supporting all your systems in your body, whether it's your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional. You've got ways. When you talk to any of us, we've got ways to help you. We're trying to share those ways with you, what works for us, what works for our clients and our clientele. These are things that have been, like Master Chef said, you know, we are trying to share with you things that have been proven to be successful for us and for those whom we are involved with and help. So, you know, whip that worry with preparation. Proper planning prevents poor. What's the last part of it? Somebody help me with that. Remember, we had a show that was one of our proper planning prevents poor. Anybody else?
The traditional one is prior proper planning prevents piss poor results. We kind of tweaked it to prior proper planning for promoting proper health.
I say whip worry with that one right there, that mouthful, that tongue twister. One Love and Wellness, love plus art equals wellness. You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and my website, Mom's Wellness Wagon, which is Mobile Arts Meta Spa. Mom's Wellness Wagon _ love, the plus sign, art, the equal sign, wellness. Mom's Wellness Wagon _ love plus art equals wellness. One Love and Wellness, one more time. Hope I have helped you, and hope I remind you of some things that you just didn't remember until now to help you whip that worry. Master Chef, it's all yours.
Right on, right on. Give thanks. Yeah, and Precious Mother Love's contact information is in the chat. There's a chat feed as well as Sister Precious Porter, who spoke earlier. So both of their direct information is in the chat box. You get a chance to float down there. You can reach out to them directly. And it's always a pleasure to hear Precious Mother Love speak, because she kind of brings that experience sides the practical side would also, the safety side, the practical side would also trusting and opening up and connecting inside, things like that. So it's a wonderful bridge of the two. Tap into your wisdom, your own intuition, your own insight to relax through the breath. Then at the same time, should we take the necessary precautions, right? And with that, moving right along, we have Dr. Yu up next, who's going to sort of close us out here. Mommy Lane had a little technical difficulties, so she may not be back with us. But in the meantime, we're going to keep this flow going here with Dr. Yu in the house. What's happening, Doc?
Yes. Peace, everyone. And Mommy Lane has sent a message as well to say that, because of the technical difficulty she's experiencing, she's going to be doing some type of a pop-up live this week, I think Wednesday. So look out for that. We'll post more information about that. And she's going to be showing the breathing exercises that she intended to show on this program. So look out for that on the Collective Health Initiative page. And my contribution to this topic of whipping worry has to do with the physical component of it. And part of that, the physical and the energetic components go hand in hand. We always like to touch on that and talk about that because oftentimes we look at one aspect and we separate it from another aspect. We look at the mind and we say, okay, that's the mental issue, but we don't look at, okay, how does what we eat, how does the other lifestyle habits that we have physically affect that or coincide with that, So one of the really, really important organs of the body that helps to moderate the element of worry is the spleen. The spleen is part of the digestive system, and it plays a very important role in the body. It helps with the processing of anything that you take in, and that has to do with not only food, but also information. And so the amount of information that we take in, are we really processing the information that we're taking in? That's a big, big thing. And a lot of times we take in so much information, we don't process it. And then we have trouble with shutting off from the overload, So sometimes especially with what's going on now, with the coronavirus being in everything that we turn on. You turn on YouTube, you have coronavirus this, stay home, You turn on the news, you see that. You turn on the regular TV show, you might see that as a topic, or you go into the commercial and there's 20 commercials before you get to the next segment. So it becomes an overload, and there becomes a time where if you don't shut off from that, it starts to take an internal effect on you, psychologically and physically. And so we have to acknowledge that. And we also, if we want to moderate that energy, we have to take time to turn those things off. Don't over inundate yourself, because a lot of what people are projecting are really just opinions. Most of this is not factual information that's necessarily going to help you. Yes, there are some things. There's some very, very important basic foundational things in terms of hygiene, so on and so forth. But a lot of the things about how the virus is spread and this and that, this is opinions and theories. And it's not necessarily true or proven as a fact, which is why so much information is changing by the day. So it's very, very important to look at these things and be able to kind of shut it off and separate and go inside, so to speak. Look at what is it that you're actually feeling? What is it that you're actually dealing with in your immediate circumstance? Because part of the mindset that has to do with worry also deals with the element of trying to control something that's outside of your control. And so, we want to look at what can we do for ourselves? What can we do within our immediate circumstance and environment that's going to make a shift in our, in our surroundings and within ourselves that's going to fortify us to be able to deal with everything else. And so, with the spleen, two things that are really, really important. One is dairy products. The other is things that are very cold foods and beverages. These are things we want to avoid because they stagnate the energy of the spleen. So things like yogurts, ice creams, iced tea, so on and so forth, cold water around this time where, there's a lot that's coming in. We want to make sure to avoid those type of things. Even people who are making smoothies and things of that nature, you want to use something that's non-dairy as a base, and preferably you may want to drink it room temperature. You may want to let it sit out if it's cold. If you have to put certain fruits or vegetables in the refrigerator, you may want to let the smoothie sit out until it gets to room temperature before you actually consume it. If you are experiencing worry and things of that nature, or other kind of even digestive concerns, that may be issues that could be associated with the spleen. Another really, really important thing that is so overlooked, and somebody mentioned it earlier, is rest, and getting the proper amount of rest and getting good rest. A lot of us, we go to sleep, and I think we did a topic on this a few weeks back about rest and sleep, or I touched on it and gave some remedies about the chamomile and all of that, which is also a good herb for the spleen, by the way. The chamomile is also a very good herb for the spleen too, but the element of getting rest, making sure that you shut off your electronic devices, sleep in darkness, as opposed to, okay, I'm going to sleep, but I'm going to have my cell phone on right next to me in the bed, or I'm going to have my TV on while I'm going to sleep, or I'm going to have the radio on while I'm going to sleep. And those type of things, not only the waves and the radiation from those things will have an effect, but also it disrupts how deeply you're able to sleep. And if you don't get the proper amount of rest, being that is the time that your body rejuvenates and regenerates and does repair for any kind of things that's going on, all of those things are going to be compromised. You're going to wake up, you're going to be more agitated, typically speaking, or you're going to be more in a state where you're more energetically compromised. Some people experience, lower immune function too, because of that same reason, because the spleen is also a vital part of the immune system. And it's a part of the lymphatic system as well. The lymphatic system, which helps to move fluids throughout the body. So always things that, are going to help to encourage very good rest, take advantage of those things. Don't eat too much sweet foods at night. That's a good thing as well. Try to avoid sweet foods, more vegetables, grounding type foods, root vegetables and things of that nature, at nighttime, or proteins and vegetable combination, minus the starches, is a good thing to do. Don't eat too close to bedtime. Is another good recommendation, for general spleen health. And last but not least, I'm going to mention a couple herbs that are very useful for helping to promote the health of the spleen and the energy of the spleen. A couple herbs and foods are going to be included in that. One thing that you can use is dandelion. Dandelion is one of the best herbs for general spleen health, and especially promoting the energy of the spleen, and it's also a good detoxifier. The dandelion root especially, you can use the leaves as well. The leaves are edible greens. You can find them in some supermarkets. You can find them in some of the health food stores. The root is often used as a tea. And if, for those of you who may not be familiar, though I'm sure a lot of people are familiar, dandelion is a quote unquote weed that grows practically everywhere, is particularly here on the eastern part of the United States and many other different places as well. You know, so dandelion is very well known for its flowers, you know, and the things that people blow, you know, through the springtime and all of that, you know. But those flowers are edible, the leaves are edible, and also if you dig the plant up, the roots are edible, and you can if you cook them, and you can also make tea with it. And so we use in herbal medicine the dandelion root tea as a good detoxifier and supporter for the spleen. In Chinese medicine, they use a lot of the ginseng, you know, and here there's an American ginseng root as well. A lot of people may not be familiar with, you know, but there's a form of ginseng that grows here in the Americas wild as well in certain areas, you know, but the ginseng root and the dandelion root, great herbs for the spleen. Cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper gets things moving in the body. Anytime you want something to get moving in the body, you put that cayenne pepper in that, it's going to supercharge it. You know, so those are my three of my herbal recommendations. And a good nutritional support thing, last but not least, is the blackstrap molasses. You can add this to your foods, to your beverages as a good nutritional support supplement for those who may not have a lot of money to say like get you know a good quality vitamin, you know, or something that would, you know, really give a good support. There are certain things food wise which and what do you call that, like additives to foods, you know, seasonings and flavorings and so on and so forth, herbs and spices that you can add to your foods that can help to give you that nutritional boost. And the blackstrap molasses is one of those great things. And it's a naturally sweet flavor, kind of taste, has like an irony kind of a taste to it, you know, but that's because it is very rich in iron. So that means if it's rich in iron, iron helps to build the hemoglobin in the red blood cells. That helps to promote the amount of oxygen that's circulating through the body. You know, so very, very good things to incorporate. And I'm going to end it there. I'm actually going to do a live between today and tomorrow. Not a live, excuse me. It's going to be a posted video where I get to organize my thoughts a little bit more. And I'm going to try to keep it brief, but I'm going to be talking about people who are actually dealing with this COVID situation and what you can do at home if you're in self-quarantine to help to promote yourself to heal and make sure that the symptoms and experience doesn't get worse. I've been helping a few people, advising a few people, so I'll definitely be sharing on that. And I'm going to turn it back over to Master Shep. Thank you all for tuning in.
Right on, right on. Give thanks, Doc. Yeah, there it is, the health class you never had. And just as a reminder for those who, again, tuning in, as Doc gave examples of the organs, like the spleen for worry. Last week he mentioned the kidneys. So again, just a reminder, you know, there's a subtle difference in the way these organs manifest and how they affect the body. So even looking at it from an organs perspective. So again, give thanks for checking out the health class you never had. We just look to provide information about health that you may not be as familiar with or may not have made the connections with. Again, just looking at it from a holistic perspective. And with that, again, just a reminder that Mommy Lane presentation got interrupted because of the technical difficulties. Nonetheless, she's looking forward to sharing probably on Wednesday at 10, if the word is correct. Again, you can also keep following us on the Collective Health Initiative page just to be sure. But nonetheless, stay tuned Wednesday at 10 a.m. And also, there's a message, a reminder for those of you who are looking to get more involved in the garden side of this community venture. Again, we're here as a community, a wellness community, a wellness collaboration, if you will. Collective of wellness warriors, healers, things like that. And again, during this season, a lot of people have gotten expressing interest in growing more foods, whether it be in your backyard, or some people is, you know, even open to growing foods inside. If you don't have the yard, the space to grow outside, you know, urban farming, guerrilla farming, where you actually plant the food inside the apartment or the space that you have inside with the proper lights and soils and things like that. So again, for those who are interested in learning more, becoming a part of a community of us who are, have actually started growing our own foods, then you can tune in on Thursday evening with Sister Stefan, our agriculturalist, with the Solar Soil Stewards Garden Club. And the post is also on the Collective Health Initiative page. So you can go to the page and check out the post and go to the link to also register for that class. And it appears, just looking at the chat box and the comments here, there are no live questions to engage with at the moment. One last note, except from Precious Mother Love, that she'll be coming up. But we do want to encourage you to continue to. Oh, go ahead, Precious. Go ahead.
I wanted to remind everyone that, there are services that can help you relax and de-stress as well. Master Shep offers a heart touch therapy session, which is addressing all of those organs, which was spoken of. I also do as well a version of his heart touch therapy. I've been trained. Also, Soulful Touch does a wonderful spa treatment, relaxing, worry releasing service. That's Sister Ketnu. I also want to send a shout out to Royal Reset, who is our resident gardener, bringer of life, as I have said before. And then I also do an ionic foot detox cleanse, which is, I do also offer a reflexology foot massage prior to you getting the foot detox, which also improves your sex life, reduces wrinkles, which means that it also helps you reduce your worry and your stress. So I want to shout out also to Rooted in Nature, Sister Clarice, who is on our board, all of those who are colleagues of ours in our Collective Health Initiative, here to be of service. If you want to look us up, we do have a website, and we can offer you package services as well. And I know Master Shep will be sharing more about that as well. One Love and Wellness. Just wanted to put a little more on the table.
Indeed. Give thanks. As a matter of fact, even as we speak, Dr. Yu's information is in the chat comment section over there. So all of our presenters their direct contact is in the chat. So right now my person is just putting in the web page for the Collective Health Initiative, so that if you go to the web page, you can actually see all of us on one page. You can actually check out all of us on one page, easy access. And as Precious Mother Love was saying, we're bringing all of our services in-house for easy access to all of us. So check out the page from time to time, but definitely by next week, you'll be updated to how you can definitely engage with us more directly, more intimately in our one-stop shop, iamit.me/I am health, because after all, I am health. Can you dig it?
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. All right, fam. With that, if there's no other comments, questions, inquiries, we shall bid you adieu. A good day. Peace and balance to all. Again, we're all in this together. So over this week, just be encouraged. And if you need to reach out for just to, say hi or just a text or whatever, again, that's what we're here for. We're family in this together. So it's our own support system. All right.
I want to say happy birthday to Dr. Anu, one of our colleagues at the Anu practice. Happy solar return. Many happy returns.
Dr. Anu.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, we go to this gallery view back now. Yeah. Back to the gallery view. Give them shots out as we end this thing. Anybody want to shout out before he get his theme song going?
Shout out to all those who are getting better and taking our health tips and putting them to good use. And working their way back to wellness.
Indeed.
And I would just say, just stay mindful of what information you take in. Stay mindful of what you put yourself in. You can get this rumination, which is when you keep representing that same bad information to yourself over and over, kind of like a cow chewing a cud. When you chew the food, you swallow it, and you throw it up and chew it again. You don't want to keep taking negative information and spending that. You don't want to keep sitting there looking at what's happening with the corona today. Don't spend your energy on it. It's here. It's going to go what it's going to do, what it's going to do. Focus on the present, the now, the things that you need to do to move yourself forward so that you get healthy, stay healthy, have your plans going, and enjoy life, because life is still here to be lived and enjoyed even in this season.
Bible says, request life or ask for life or give life and life more abundantly. What does it say? Live life. Yeah, life is for the living. Live it and live it more abundantly.
It's a song too, isn't it? Life is for the living. Nonetheless, it's all in there. Spiritual art represent life. Spirituality is all right there. We know these principles. Yeah, we just encourage you just to live them. You know, bring them to life. You know, that's what we all hear about. We know these things. Let's bring them to life together. Right on. All right, that's it.
Family. So we will see you next episode of the Health Class You Never Had. Tune in next Monday, same time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the morning, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of the Health Class You Never Had. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Peace and blessings.
One love and wellness. Where's that catchy tune? Hi, Master Chef. Be well.